completely negated. Apple is at 160 cents. Let's go to Bitcoin. It looks like I'm not in the money. However, this is a blob up, so it moved south, but it moved north in just like a couple of minutes, and it doesn't really give me a direction, and it's still unclear where it's gonna be, how this is gonna go. So let us just move on to Apple. What do we see here? Apple, that's a 1 minute chart. It was moving quite a bit for the last few hours. That's a monthly right there. So what do we have? Just like Nasdaq Composite, Apple was moving south with the market itself. Now it looks like that's contagious. So if you go to SPX, which is S&P 500, we'll see that that's exactly what happened here. It moved from the high, the all-time high of 2,872 to correction of 2,532. It's still unclear where this is gonna go, but it's certain that something made it move south, and it's probably just to make it look like the market is not moving just upwards. In any case, that's exactly what has happened here with Apple, a monthly chart. And now let's move on to US oil. So surprisingly enough, I would say US oil is suffering from this too, or so it would seem. Normally commodities, currencies, cryptocurrencies are kind of separate from stocks, but it looks like that was a overall market move where most of the stocks have been very greatly affected. Right here. It moved from 66 to 58 for now. Now let's move on to our 1 minute Bitcoin chart. And as you can see, overall it moves upwards, and it's moving upwards for quite a bit. I'm going to buy. It seems that this is a sort of a slightly longer term play, where the market overall, a longer term, is moving up. And catching something like that is certainly very profitable. So it's moving from 9,673 at the current 9,825. So that's like over $100, which is still nice considering that not so long has passed. Obviously, if that would happen with stocks, it would be crazy, right? But not if it is happening with the Bitcoin. No. But stocks are not priced at tens of thousands of dollars. Not yet, not now. And that's pretty much it. So far so good. Let's take a look at the headlines for Bitcoin USD. Soros Fund becomes number 3 shareholder of Overstock, CEO known for pro-Bitcoin stance. 2.5 million share buys sees Soros become third biggest shareholder of pro-Bitcoin Overstock. So Soros is famous for currency trading actually. Soros the man itself. It looks like that's just the Soros fund. Oh, look at that. That was a nice crash. Bam. Down. Nearly $30. And it's unclear where this is gonna go. Cisco and Ukrainian cyber police uncover 50 million Bitcoin phishing scam. Cisco and Ukrainian cyber police have exposed a phishing ring that stole 50 million Bitcoin over 3 years. Very, very interesting indeed. 94-year-old Berkshire Hathaway VP is disgusting people buy Bitcoin. Step on it hard, Berkshire Hathaway's monger tells US government. Wow, that was, I would say, a very, very kind of a harsh thing to say, considering that he's so old. Probably when he was my age, he was pulling carts. He was probably sitting on a cart pulled by a horse, and now he's driving in a Ferrari, and he's not considering Bitcoin to be some kind of a new thing, some kind of an evolution, a different kind of money. No, he would just like to be sitting on that cart pulled by horses while being 94 years old and not thinking about the future. IBM wants you to know all the ways blockchain can go wrong. IBM has a team of cybersecurity experts working with enterprise clients to make sure their distributed ledgers are free from vulnerabilities. How to profit from the Bitcoin bloodbath? Well, I would say how to profit it. If somebody would ask me, I would say short it. That's probably the best way to profit from it. Ethereum developer resigns as code editor, citing legal concerns. Ethereum developer Yoshi Hirai has resigned as GitHub editor, airing concerns that a continuous proposal may be in violation of Japanese law. Zero Edge raised significant funds in pre-sale. Litecoin lifted on LitPay and upcoming Litecoin Cash fork. How to get paid for your web search, a startup to give data control back to users. Western Union to trial Ripple XRP transfer. So look at that, Ripple is going to be used by Western Union. That's certainly something new. Crypto asset lending startup BlockFi raises 1.55 million. Saudi banks to begin experimenting with Ripple technology. Surprisingly, it's not Bitcoin technology, it's the Ripple technology. Bitcoin looks above 10,000, but the resistance may await. Having hit 2-week highs, Bitcoin is now aiming for the 10,000 mark, but further gains may be transient, the chart indicates. Cisco cybersecurity team cracks 50 million Ukrainian hacker ring. IBM's want governments to focus more on internal blockchain use cases. Bitcoin isn't the only crypto adding lightning tech now. Blockchain may help to end seafood slavery in Asia. Not sure how it would do that, but I'm not even going to check it because it's so crazy. Ethereum classic price, technical analysis. Real chain to disrupt the luxury goods purchasing of the future. Cisco wishing to Bitcoin phishing scam bagged 50 million over 3 years. Alright, it looks like, the way I look at it, they got caught because they wanted to simply cash out that money, and it didn't work out. They probably became too rich to actually care about security, and they've got caught. Fellowship of Ethereum coders embark on governance quest. A group calling itself Fellowship of Ethereum Magicians is seeking to change how the world's second most valuable blockchain makes decisions. So the way it kind of ended up is that these kind of, like, the way I look at it, obviously, it's kind of blockchain, Ethereum chain, Ripple chain, whatever you want to call them, codes behind those cryptocurrencies kind of were at first created just to be kind of payment processing solutions that are very, very safe. And it ended up that they were good for as long as they're not being used by 1 billion people. And unfortunately, it is being used by 1 billion people, so it has to be upgraded. And this is what it's all about. They have to fork it, they have to change it, they have to introduce something, and so on and so forth. But the hard thing about crypto price is valuation. Without traditional fundamentals, investors must rely on a range of methods to value cryptocurrencies. I'm gonna short this for a little while, and we'll see if it's gonna move us out at least a little bit. Some familiar, some novel, none foolproof. US tax filing services, only 4% of customers reported crypto to IRS for 2017. Despite rising crypto adoption, almost no Americans have reported crypto gains or losses this tax season to date, says Credit Karma. And very interesting indeed. Just as I mentioned before, people probably realize that they don't want to pay taxes on Bitcoin. However, I think personally that that's important, considering that eventually people won't be able to hide all that money. The way I look at it, if I would have $1 million in Bitcoins and I would like to hide it from the tax man, I would only make food purchases and some kind of electronic equipment, maybe some furniture purchases with that Bitcoin money, but nothing too expensive, no land, no house, no car purchases, nothing that would just kind of go on paper and would bear my name. Anything that's not really there, such as like furniture, something that can be like sitting in your room for a millennium, right, for a decade. A taxman would probably never ask, where did you got this furniture, when did you bought it, you know. And even if he has, you can just say 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you know, and that's it. Just don't have the receipt in Bitcoin, right? That's the way I look at it. I can be wrong, I don't know how they find out about these things. However, I think that they find out simply because people become too greedy, and they don't realize that if they buy $100,000 car or a house or a flat and they don't make that much money, they are going to fall for it. Citibank India bans both credit and debit cards for crypto purchases. Cites risk. Citibank India tells customers via email about new debit and credit card ban for crypto purchases. And the way I look at it is that the thing about this is not about Bitcoin being some kind of a risk that they want to kind of protect individuals from buying Bitcoin. I personally believe that they just realized that Bitcoin is a competitor. Bitcoin made people richer than they made in a short period of time, because if they just have cash in bank, that doesn't really make them richer. However, if they had Bitcoin in the bank, in the wallet, it certainly people makes richer, and they just kind of realize they don't want to be part of making Bitcoin the new paper money, right? They want it gone, and they're gonna do this by not letting their debit cards be used for crypto purchases. I think that's very, very evil, and I think that's very evil in nature, because humanity should continuously evolutionize, kind of go forward with evolution. And if Bitcoin is going to be better than money, then fine, let's make it Bitcoin. But no, paper money side companies and individuals would fight Bitcoin, and I think that's kind of anti-human in a sense. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Ripple, Stellar, Litecoin, Cardano, Neo, EOS price analysis. Let's take a look at this price analysis right here. You can stop the video and read about these. So that's what's happening today or nearby in 2018 February. I'm sure that's going to be very interesting for those that are like few years away from now. It looks like I'm not making money from these 1 minute trades, unfortunately, due to the fact that it's blobbing up for quite a bit. However, as you can see, it did have a nice move upwards for the last 40 minutes. Paying tax in crypto ironically triggers more taxes. DC blockchain hearing sees call for congressional commission. The House Committee on Science, Space and Technology seemed excited about blockchain's application after Wednesday's hearing. CFTC to establish crypto and DLT committees. The CFTC's Technology Advisory Committee created two subcommittees devoted to cryptocurrencies and blockchain in its meeting today. Forbes Fintech 50 for 2018 list includes 11 blockchain and crypto companies. Forbes recently released Fintech 50 list includes 11 companies related to blockchain and cryptocurrency. Moody's Bitcoin volatility likely won't hurt CME's risk rating. Moody's Investor Service said today it doesn't believe the launch of Bitcoin futures will hurt creditworthiness of either CME or CBOE. Dubai gold trading company launches world's first cold storage vault for crypto. A gold trading company in Dubai has been granted the first crypto trading license in the Middle East and will store customers' crypto in cold storage vault. Alright. The way Bitcoin works is that there's this public key, and everybody can see it, that Bitcoin kind of wallet key. We can call it key or we can call it address. So let's call it address. It's certainly called address. So that's Bitcoin address, Bitcoin public address. And there's this hidden key associated with that public address. If you know that hidden wallet key, you can add the Bitcoin from that address to your own wallet. And if you have these two, the address and the wallet key, or that address key if you want to call it, then you can kind of write it down and keep it in cold storage. So what does that mean? That means that you can just type it in whenever you want in the future and cash it all out. You know, it kind of made me think, how many people out there holding Bitcoin decided to sell Bitcoin because it's falling? It's fallen for so long. Probably quite a few, I guess. Probably the ones that did not sold it were the ones who are already rich. No doubts about that. Who don't need more money, right? Okay, it looks like the market is moving against me there. And continuous selling would certainly be the end. How new blockchain-based project is trying to build the new internet. Sky Coin project aims to revolutionize the internet through crypto. Litecoin price surges of news of LTC fiat payment service and scam hard fork. You see, when I read these kind of statements of why the price moved up or down, I usually see this with very high skepticism because I think it's lies. I think it's just an interpretation of curve moving upwards, and some kind of an event out of 1,000 events out there being the reason for that. And I don't think that this is nowhere near correction. I think that's just a way of hiding that it's all simply fake and manipulated by somebody.